Hello there and welcome to this week's episode of She Is, the show that empowers women all over the world to believe in themselves and set out to achieve their dreams despite whatever challenge the life throws at them. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. Smile GH is by far the best production company that I know of. Smile GH is in charge of all your production. So if you want that production, that wedding, that event of yours captured with all the quality and good sound, call them now on 026 1089346 or 024 0081 636. Also, the show is supported by Templesy Court. Templesy is a home away from home. If you want a place to have that conference meeting or a place to hang out with your friends, Templesy Court is the right place to be. Contact Templesy Court on 0244 730025 or 0244 292520. Templesy Court is located inside Jowlu, right opposite the Embassy of Equatorial Guinea. Templesy Court is a home away from home. Also, thanks to Ogede Brown Enterprise, they are producers and distributors of Marble, beautiful and affordable tiles. So if you want some for your homes, call them now on 020-2065-920. 020-2065-920. Also, thanks to Excellent Framing GH for the beautiful frames that we always have for our guests. Call them for any beautiful frame on 050-61-53316, 050-61-53316. Also, thanks to Smart Trends for always providing me with lovely outfits for my show. So if you want any beautiful outfit, any lovely thing for your events, for your weddings, for your anniversaries, call them on 027-138-1428, 027-138-1428. And finally, thanks to Queen Kesh Kitchen for the amazing delicacies that you provide us with. Call them on 057-65-91430 or 024-170510. My name is Richmond Opong Frimpong. After the break, you get to meet our guests because this is a real life story. See you after the break. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching She Is, and today on the show we have Naa Darkoaa Otoo. She is an entrepreneur. She does a bit of, all other things. She is a born-again Christian, and today we want to talk to her and then delve deeper into her life. Welcome to the show, Naa.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
You are looking so good.
Thank you. You
It's
look
by the grace, right?
Oh yeah.
So, a lot of those that know you as Zainab.
Exactly.
And now you want us to call you Naa Darkoaa Otoo.
Oh no, actually the Naa Darkoaa is my name.
Okay.
My dad is half Ghana, so the Naa Darkoaa is my name. But because I was a Muslim, so the Zainab is what I
Now
was
let's
using.
start from beginning. Tell us about growing up. Where did you come from? Where did you live growing up?
Well, I've lived all my life in Tesano. Others call it Abekan because it's a bit close to that side. My mom comes from the eastern region, Quail to be precise, and then my dad is a bit Ghana, and then his mom comes from the northern region also.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where the Naa Darkoaa came from.
Okay. Growing up, what did you want to become? What were your childhood aspirations?
I mean, growing up, I wouldn't say I really encountered any difficulty growing up because my parents really went all out for me. My dad especially, yeah. But before that, I'd like to say a very big thank you to my man of God, Pastor Enoch. Thank you so much, sir. And also to my cell leader, Sir Selassie, I love you. Yeah, so growing up, my parents really came through for me. I attended St. Lawrence. After that, I went on to Infantsman Girls.
Okay, man side.
And trust me, it was a whole different journey altogether. I mean, everybody who knows me now, I'm sure would definitely be shocked at the Naa Darkoaa I'm seeing now, because
there's been a change.
Exactly.
There's been a touch.
A massive change.
Okay, so at Mansides, what course did you read and what did you want to become growing up?
Well, I read general arts.
Okay.
Growing up, I'd say because of my mom, I can say I really wanted to do business. But then my dad, I mean, growing up as children, sometimes we have our parents coming in, taking decisions for us and all that. Yeah, so my dad made me read general arts. But after school, I realized I wanted to do business.
Okay.
It's the business I wanted, yeah. So after school, I started selling.
Right after senior high school?
Right after senior high.
So did you start selling right after senior high school?
Well, right after senior high school, truth be told, I wanted to do business. But then again, my dad, I was okay university and all that, yeah. So I had to give in to him. That's where Pentecost University came into the picture.
Okay.
So I started a diploma actually in Pentecost University, yeah. And then when I started, as I said, I used to do business. I had a friend in town. Yeah, so when she brings her stuff in, I go to her, take it, and then sell it to some of the students. And then again, I had a friend who also had an auntie outside, and then she used to bring stuff into the country. Yeah. So when she brings it in, she calls me, and then I go and take it and sell. Yeah. So
you did a variety of businesses on campus.
I've done a lot actually.
Why is that? So is it that maybe you are doing one, it's not really booming, and then you have to change and all
Well,
that?
at a point, the clothing business really became very concentrated on campus.
Okay.
Yeah, because it looks like people realized how lucrative it was, so everybody wanted to try it. So it got to a point, probably somebody might come to you and get something original, but might go to a different person and get something similar that costs less. Okay. Yeah, so the person will go in for that. So it wasn't really going well. So at a point, I had to.
I know you well. I mean, Naa Darkoaa Otoo. I know you so well.
Yeah.
You have really struggled in life. What were some of the issues that you went through during your university days? Because you had to do a diploma, and I'm sure a lot of people that you completed with are way ahead.
Of course.
And you came doing a diploma with people that were below your age.
Exactly.
And you now did a degree course.
Exactly.
With your genius.
Yes.
How was all that for you?
Well, it wasn't so easy. It wasn't easy because at that time, I mean, I was still a Muslim. And no offense to Muslims or anything, but I feel like being a born-again Christian now, comparing my life to back then, there's a lot of difference. But my kid sister used to call me unruly. I've done practically everything. Yes. At a point, I used to have issues with my mom, like my parents all the time, because my mom is always on my case, I'm stubborn and all of that. And then, coming back to Pentecost University, the class I was in, most of them were my juniors. And so at a point where probably you'd have to be disrespected by somebody who is way, I mean, so sometimes, most of the time, I mean, you know me, most of the time I was either in an argument or something with somebody, yeah, so it wasn't really.
Do you have regrets on that? Like when?
Oh, so many pa. I know there sometimes, but I wouldn't say most of it I don't regret, because I mean, human beings can push you. For instance, if Obiaya and you know the person is wrong, but the person will not agree to it. I mean, this will be nipa, I won't let you go exactly. And then growing up too, I wouldn't say giddy giddy type, but not many so yes shit. Exactly. I mean, you know me. So, dear, what the very me then? We might find him.
Then what you really, had fun.
Oh, I have.
I want to ask, what was the relationship? Your mom is a Christian, right?
My mom was a Christian before she met my dad.
Okay, and then she converted to this. Okay, so what was the relationship with your mom, between your mom and your dad?
My parents have an amazing relationship.
Okay.
Trust me. My parents, I always say this, that my parents they're just amazing. Trust me, sometimes I tell my mom, I know they have arguments, but we never get to hear of it.
Wow.
So I always tell her, if I decide to get married, I want to be like her. Because I can't recall
when you saw them arguing.
I mean, there are sometimes that my mom will come out, you would realize she's not okay, but she would just let it slide and then... Exactly. So my parents...
And how's the relationship now that you have converted? Is your mom still a Muslim?
Well, my mom is, but of course I take her to church, because just this last Sunday I took her to church, and my dad was okay. Initially when I converted, it wasn't rosy.
Okay.
I wouldn't lie to you.
We'll get there.
We'll
get there. But after Pentecost University, okay, you did diploma. When did you start your degree, and then how was it for you?
Okay, so I think I entered Pentecost University somewhere around 2014. Yes. I did diploma for almost 2.5 years. And then I had to write a mature exams. That is when I got admission to do a degree in logistics and supply chain management.
It's been like 7 years.
Oh yeah. Most of my colleagues, I mean, some are married, some are working and all that.
Okay, so you are now having your service.
Yeah, I'm doing my service at Petroleum Commission.
So when did your business come in, ES Surprises? What made you think, okay, out of all the businesses in the world, why that particular thing?
Truth be told, after the clothing business, I started a food business.
Okay.
It was more like a breakfast thing. Yeah, it was actually my kid sister's idea, because she knew me to be the business type. Yeah. So she told me about it, and then I started. Initially, it was going well. I mean, I had clients call me and all of that. But at a point, it became stagnant. Because then again, a lot of people got introduced to it, and people started doing it. So I decided to stop. Then I started a jewelry business.
Jewelry?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done a lot. I started a jewelry business, and I still do it though. It's doing amazing now by the grace of God. Yes. So I think 3 months after the jewelry business, I happened to chance on a video one time on YouTube, and then it was about this balloon thing, balloon styling and all of that. So I was my kid sister, and I told her, my son will come to me. So when I told her, she was like, oh, Eddie. And I'm like, listen, say me your money in. So I just said it. I didn't really mean it. I just said it. A week after, my friend called me that her birthday was up, and then she needed us to go shopping and all of that. And I'm like, Abby, I have an idea. There's this thing I saw on YouTube. I think I can do it. So I want to do it on your birthday. When I told her, she was like, oh, no. They be out of the business bar. And I was like, oh, I've seen a couple of people do it, and I can do it. So I remember the day I went to her house to do it, she was a bit not okay about it, because she felt I couldn't do it. But I got the things, I did it, and it went well. So after the whole thing, her mom was like, my natural. And I'm like, nah, I'll be on Charming. I share video on YouTube and I'm going to send it to me. And the lady couldn't believe it, because I remember there was a lady around who was into events at that time. Yeah. And when she asked me and I told her nobody told me, she was shocked. I'm like, nobody told me. I just watched the video and I realized I could do it. Wow. And that is where ES Surprises came in.
Wow.
But at that time, I didn't really have a name for it, because I hadn't really thought of venturing into events. So what I was doing was basically doing free decor for my friends and people I know. So like if it's your birthday, you call me, I just come do it, take my pictures. And then I had to convert my Instagram page to a business one. So I started posting the pictures.
I love the fact that you said you started by doing free gigs with your friends' birthdays and all that, because people actually have an idea, but they want to get maybe the best, the huge sum of money from somewhere.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Believe me, it doesn't work like that. Because in our part of the world, starting up a business, you wouldn't really get the push that you need unless maybe you decide to do it yourself or take the bull by something. Because you can't just walk up to somebody and tell the person, I have a business idea, I need this. In our part of the world, it doesn't work like that. Exactly.
Something.
I don't know, but in our world, they want you to suffer before you get to a point. But when you go to other countries, it's not like that. When you bring up the idea and somebody wants to help you and the person has the means, they help.
You. Now tell us about ES Surprises. What do you do and how is business going for you?
Okay, so it's basically an events company. We're almost done with registration.
Okay.
Yes. And we do balloon decor, we do events, be it engagements, wedding, everything. Engagement happens, everything.
And how's business going?
It's been amazing by the
You've been welcomed, right?
Well, there's a lot of competition, but again, I'm a tongue speaking woman.
You're in your zone and you are doing what you are doing.
Exactly.
What are some of the challenges that comes with your business?
Well, there are actually quite a number of them, but I'd say our main challenge is having to get the necessary for the work, because what we normally do is we rent out from people.
Okay.
So imagine you probably booking say a day with somebody, telling the person that, okay, this day I want your stuff for this, and then the day comes and the person tells you, oh, I've given it out to another person.
Okay, yeah.
It's very challenging. And then of course having to deal with other people, artisans and stuff. It's really not easy, but
there's this notion that you being a woman in the industry trying to cater for yourself, men come up to you. Do you have such advances?
Of course. Men will always be men.
Normal.
Men will always be men. You get some of them hitting on you and all of that. But to the glory of God, they hit on me, but they end up becoming just friends with me. Okay. Because when you get close to me, for that I won't lie to you. I'll let you know that I'm a tongue-speaking Christian. So if the motive you're bringing is
coming on board
exactly, in the long run you give up.
I want to ask this: has there been an instance where somebody has booked you, you've gone to do whatever you're supposed to do for the person,
hey,
or there's been an instance like that? Share with us.
Okay, so this lady booked me, and then it was actually a decor for her husband.
Okay.
I went to her house, I did everything, the man came, surprise, was so happy. A week after, I still hadn't heard from her. So I called, I'm like, oh, madam, the money. She's not really feeling well, like a whole lot.
Wait, she says she's not feeling well, and it's affected her pocket.
And she had to use the money to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Her husband is not around. I'm like, madam, me one time I come in here, but I came because you told me your husband wasn't around, and like she gave the story she gave me really touched me. So I'm like, okay, fine, let me just do it. After that, I take my money. Now I told her about my stories. Oh, meet ya. To date, I didn't get my money.
What did you say?
I didn't get my money.
And what have you done about it?
Hey,
wow.
And it takes me back to a story I heard about Empress Gifty on her wedding day. So the day I heard the story, I could really relate.
That she booked somebody?
She booked somebody and the person didn't show up to even do anything for her.
The person took the money.
Exactly. And in the long run, she was rather being judged wrongly. And here's you.
Wow.
I never got my money.
But you are cashing out, right? Aside all the,
I mean,
wahala, you are cashing out.
Business is going well. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Wow. The conversation is getting deeper, but we will delve much deeper into her life after this break. Do stay. Welcome back. We are talking to Naa Darkoaa Otoo. She is an entrepreneur and a born-again Christian. Hi, now we are back. So you are cashing out, ES surprises. Okay, we'll get back to, what other thing you want to do. When did you convert? And, okay, when did you convert? When did you feel the need to, or somebody was chasing you? Who asked you to become a Christian?
Well, I'd say mine was actually an encounter.
Okay.
And then coupled with the fact that I was getting the same prophecy from different men of God, and it happened to be the same prophecy. Okay. But what really made a difference was the fact that I think it was 2 years ago, it was my birthday actually, and then my cousin posted me on her status. So her pastor saw it and gave a prophecy, and it was actually the same prophecy I was getting from people. And this is a man who hadn't seen me before. So I was like, how come? Because back when I was in school, you dare not tell me I'll convert.
Yes.
You dare not.
I mean, Zainab.
Exactly. So she called me and she was like, the man wants to see me. I'm like, Namidi, pastor dear. What business do you exactly?
Me a cremoni.
You know, right?
Me too, but
So I told my mom, and my mom was like, okay, fine. I should just go and hear him out. So I went, he gave the same prophecy, I got back home.
Okay, your mom actually allowed, okay.
I told my mom, I actually told my mom everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got back home, I'm like, I said, the same thing now, what is God actually trying to tell me? So I just forgot about it. So last year, I think it was 2 weeks to my birthday. Before that, I had already discussed with my big brother that I want to go to church because, no offense, but
okay.
I really wasn't seeing top. And then I really needed to change my lifestyle.
Okay.
Because initially I didn't want to believe it, but I realized at a point I was actually losing people. Because I was the type who really didn't care about any. I mean, you know me.
You don't care.
Exactly.
Yes. You just say your mind and then go.
Simple. So when I told my brother, he was like, okay, fine. What do I want to do? And I was like, oh, I've seen that my kid sister is attending this church and I'd like to go. Apparently, my sister is dropping. Okay. So a week after I was there, and she was like, oh, sorry, Sunday. And my sister too, because my dad is a Muslim, Okoskua, she used to be in UPSA, Okoskua and Okoskua, sorry. But when she's at home, you dare not say you're going to church. But I don't know, but I believe everything happens in the timing of God. Because mysteriously, it was a Friday. She came and she was like, oh, Sunday we day. Oh, Papa, my dad, we call him Darkoaa Vibes. I was like, Darkoaa Vibes at Pompo Meko. So when she said, I was like, okay, fine, Meko. So when I told her, she thought I was just joking. So the Sunday came, we dressed up. I think I can't say, how can Papa say? Sorry. And then my sister was like, okay, fine. Her pastor told her how to pray about stuff like that. So I should just give her like 30 minutes. My sister went to pray. She came back, she was like, sorry. Mysteriously, I told my dad. Initially, he wasn't a bit okay. But after 5 minutes, I was there, he came and was like, dear baby, are you? I'm like, hey, this man would have told me, I mean, no way. But he just told me that, and I'm like, okay, fine. And he didn't call.
When your father said that, what did you say to yourself? How did you feel?
Honestly, at that point, I had already made up my mind. So it was as though, and should I name myself?
What if he had said no?
I would have gone. I mean, which one, you know me.
Okay.
If I want something, I'll go for it. I would have.
And he felt the calling.
I really did. Because at that point, I don't know, but I just
You felt you had hit.
Exactly. And thinking about it now, I just know it was just the timing of God.
Okay.
So we went to church, and honestly, nobody told me
this was the place for you.
It was as though that day the man of God knew I was coming to church. So after everything, there was an altar call. I went. And I remember when I got home and I told my mom I went for the altar call. I saw the look on my mom's face. It was like everything for me. I'm like, okay. So it means my mom is even in support of this. So let's just do it.
Wow.
And it wasn't easy initially on my dad's side, but I mean, now it's quite fast. Sorry, to me, sometimes I don't quite sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. To the extent that my dad is now, I remember 2 weeks ago we had an all night in church, and then I was sleeping, and then I heard someone knock, and I was like, why? I was like, Mommy, now I'm call all night. I'm like, oh damn, I'm going. And my dad, this is the man who didn't like the idea of me going to church. But my dad was able to tell me, oh, and now sorry,
wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, like you said, it was the right time, and God was actually communicating with you, telling your dad something? Or is it that you feel your dad feels that you are grown enough, and so you should have the right to do whatever you want to do, freedom to, worship in any religion?
I'd say it's prayer. Because when we're having the issues with him about him not really wanting us to go to church, I prayed and fasted for almost a month.
Wow.
Yes. I prayed. There were times my cell leader could call me around 12 a.m. We'll pray till like 3. And honestly, when stuff like that, when you start, it's not really easy.
Yes.
So if you don't take care, you might be pushed to stop.
Backslide, yeah.
But then again, my man of God has made me understand situations like that. So I realized what I was actually warring against wasn't something light. So I continued. I prevailed for a month.
Now, did you have any attacks? Did you have people bashing you? Did you lose friends?
A lot. Wow. I mean, I quite remember when I converted initially, I think a month or so after. Some of my Muslim friends were still talking, but they didn't know I had gone to church. So there was a day I posted something on my status, and then one person was like, why am I posting stuff about Christianity? I'm like, oh, I've converted. That was it. She just blocked me.
Block and delete?
Yes.
That was all?
Till date, I haven't heard from her.
And how did you feel?
I don't care, because no offense to Muslims or anything, but honestly, there's a difference.
Exactly.
And thinking and adding everything up, I feel like this is actually what God wants for my life. And I understand the fact that if you actually walk in His perfect will, everything comes together.
Well, like she said, there's no offense to the Islamic religion, but this is her life, and she's taking the bull by the horn, and she's doing what she wants. Let's continue. So, were there attacks from other people as well?
Oh yeah, I remember there was a time that I was talking to a friend, and then I was like, oh, young kwa, sorry. She was like, sorry, bang. Me ma 2 weeks, so be die. Like stuff like that.
And it's been almost a year.
Oh, more than a year.
Hey, madam, on Jaya, 2
more
weeks.
Than a year.
Is where does she belong?
She's actually a Christian.
Wow.
You know the funny thing? I was getting those comments rather from Christians.
From Christians?
Exactly.
So I
was like, I thought, you guys are rather supposed to encourage me. But it looked like, so I made up my mind. I'm like, okay, it looks like everybody is just waiting for me to backslide and come back. So I remember it was a Thursday night. I used to pray every day around 12. It's a time I set for myself. So you need to call me around from 12 to 3 a.m. You get me?
Oh, you be now?
I don't know.
You be now about bumpy.
Men fakon.
Oh, sorry.
That's the thing. So probably after 4 a.m. maybe I'm not picking. Unless it's a day that I decide, okay, in a day that. Exactly. But it barely happens.
Wow.
So it was a Thursday night. I was like, God. My pastor told me, no Christian ever fails. I have decided to walk with you. You cannot let me fail. And at that point too, my business was just about starting up. So I'm like, Nyame, and now dream. Me and you. I want people to see me and know that yes, this Christianity thing actually works. Because most of the time people have this notion that, oh, I said when you become a born again Christian fresh, and I said, a general horror, a check a crave me a call. But this is me. More than a year. And we're still in it.
I'm not really surprised because I actually met you at an event and I was like, I know, this is not the lady I know.
I get that a lot. Like lately, I've been really getting that. I met a mate way back when I was in secondary. She was my classmate. And I actually beat up that girl because she told me I was going to convert.
You beat her up? Yes. OSS?
Yes.
Oh, shame.
Oh.
Because she prophesied to you.
Yes. Me from Nadi.
Please look for the lady and beg her because you are like.
I met her like 2 months ago and she was like, when she was like, now where's your veil? And I'm like, oh, I've converted. She cried.
Wow.
So I don't know, but I feel like God had, in fact, He has a purpose for my life. And I'm somebody who actually believes in spirituality and all of that. So I just had to.
Now, I want you to advise people who, are outside, are in the world, not in respect to any religion, but those that are in the world and are saying, I will never do this, I would never. As the heart is hardened that I will never come. What are you going to say to them as a Christian and as Naa Darkoaa, sorry?
What I'll say is never say never.
Okay.
Because anybody who knew me back in school, I'm sure CCR when they see me, they'll be like, how?
And you don't know what?
This is some church service. I'm in call.
Prayer meeting.
What business do I have to do?
Compose you come.
But I always say this thing, say, a kawa. You don't need anybody to convince you. I've had personal encounters in my room. Wow. And I remember there was a time I was talking to my friend and she's actually outside. And she's like, and I was to see us, Christianity, I find World Cup here. And I'm like, and then you know me, Christopher, she's like, oh, what is the honor now? You be actual book, be a. And then I remembered something my pastor said. He was like, if the white man had such sense in writing the Bible, and he sure by this time because when you actually take your time to read the Bible, you find out nobody will actually get this sense to write this.
It's actually revelation.
It's actually I just say be out a Christian now, you're just walking through. But if you take your time to, you realize that it's actually a lot. So
wow. Now, how has your new, found love held your businesses and the people around you? What's the new vibe, the new, energy?
Well, first off, I don't do anything without prayer.
Okay.
When I decide to do something, at least I should pray. I should have prayed like a week about it. I believe in prayer. It's for me, I always say that nobody deserves any accolades for how far I've come.
Yes.
Coming up, you would get people help you there, here, but nobody can say, it's purely God. Because till date, people who know how I started my business see me and they're like, hey, into Gusoye.
Yes.
Because it's not easy. It is not easy. But then I pray, I go about my daily things, and I'm good.
People think Christianity is boring, but hey, you...
It is not. That I say this thing all the time. I've actually had it before. My friend was like, "Oh, I saw no day. I'll call Bompire," and I'm like, "And I sorry, Papa now." Honestly,
yeah.
Because in my church, I happen to invite people to church. So I don't invite you more from the beginning now. No more to cheer home. But I invited somebody to church. Right now, he's an usher in church.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I remember the day I invited him, you're like, "Oh, you just come and sit down for 1 hour and go." The next Sunday, we do a sorry and Sunday, we do a sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. So it should tell you, say, young man was so but different. So.
Okay. So now, let's switch from your newfound love. What other things are on your mind? What other things are you doing? Business-wise and all that?
Okay. So the thing is, ES is actually my mom's name.
Okay.
My mom is Esther.
Okay.
So I wanted to use her name, but I realized Ewa. So I just took the ES.
Yes.
Exactly. And by the grace of God, we've been doing amazing. We are actually almost through with our rental company registration also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have your, tools and all that you can actually rent out.
Well, production is almost done.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we should be expecting everything, God willing, latest by June it should be in.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then also we started a skincare line.
Wow.
Exactly. And then we are looking at other things.
Oh,
also.
wow, you're doing that so amazing.
Yes.
Now, one would want to know where funding is coming from, because it is in the minds of people that young girls like this are sleeping their way through with somebody's father or that kind of thing to, support themselves. How are you able to do all these projects that you are doing?
Anybody who attends my church, we believe in spirit money. If I say spirit money, I mean, everything starts with prayer. Believe you me, if you pray, some way, somehow, you start getting favors and you wouldn't understand. Because I remember when I started initially, I needed money to buy stuff. And then I told somebody I know about it, and she was like, something that you don't really have much idea about. Yeah. Or yes, also he wants to invest in. I mean, in our part of the world, people really would not invest. So I just forgot about it. So I remember at the time I was talking to my mom, and I was like, "Ma, I don't even say me you." My mom was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yes." I was like, "Okay." And they was coming down.
Okay.
So I did mommy. So apart from my mother, nobody can actually say they gave me this or that.
Wow.
My mother gave me I remember I think it was 1,000 CDs.
Wow.
Yes.
Little by little.
Yes.
And then you were getting gigs.
The first gig I got that was actually something that I got money out, I think it was a birthday setup here. It was for a prominent man.
Okay.
Somewhere in the Trasaco thereabouts. Yeah. So the profit I got out of that, I saved it. So what I do is when I do another business, I get profits, I add it up. Gradually, I was able to get stuff for myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, we are so inspired by your story and the fact that you have found love in Christ and you are doing amazing. We would say continue with all that you are doing. Do not look back.
Oh, we ain't got it.
And more than something now.
Then somewhere.
Exactly. Now, advice to anyone watching you who also wants to start up something, but and also there's the temptation coming from men and all that. Advise them.
Well, I'd say everything starts with prayer.
Okay.
If you believe in the power of prayer, I mean, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because there are instances where you might feel like this is it. There's nothing for me. Just pray. Just pray. Because I really can't recall anything I've done without praying. And I don't know, but it might sound a bit cliche, but some way, somehow, it just happens after prayer.
Wow.
Yeah, it just happens. So I just advise them, just if you are not a born again Christian, just find a solid church. accept Christ first off, and then take your Christian life serious. Study the Word of God. I mean, in a day, I can't be there and not study or listen to a message or something. So anybody around me in my office like this, they know that in a day, at least 1 hour there.
It shouldn't disturb you.
I mean, so the mask in a way will be a boy.
Yeah.
Because I might just be sitting there, masked up, and I'm praying, but you won't know. Yeah. So prayer is number 1, and number 2, never give up. Never give up. I'm sure if I had listened to backlash and stuff from people, I'd never had. I mean, people will definitely try to bring you down, but never give up. Believe in yourself, believe in your ability. And then again, never stop seeking knowledge. I always say this thing, and it's actually my dad that told me. Also, how in a day, at least, per graphic be kind of kind. At least you get a word to add to yourself, like to your stuff you know exactly. So never stop seeking knowledge actually, and then again, God. Everything is God.
Wow,
it's God. It is God.
Now, thank you so much for coming on the show. But there's one last thing. Somebody wants to know. Now, Sana said there's no ring on your finger, so they want me to ask you, is there somebody, or are you married, or are you courting? What is it?
I'm married to the Holy Ghost.
Nah, don't say it like that. No. They want to know.
I'm not married.
You're not married?
I'm not married. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm single.
You are single?
Yes. But not searching.
Hello, Christians. Naa here is single. She's not searching, oh boy, she's searching. And so people to see her now, what are you saying?
Oh, if I pray about it and I get the prompting from the Holy Ghost.
So the person has to come and then you pray about it. But you have to talk to the person.
First, the person has to be a born-again Christian.
And when you're born again, there. So let's go. One born-again Christian.
Born-again Christian. A tongue-speaking born-again Christian.
A tongue-speaking God.
Exactly. To somebody... I mean, just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
I don't believe in that thing.
Down with TikTok, handsome, rich. But on rich. Somebody you start with. So the person has to one last thing. And I know.
Just love me, that's all.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. But there's a lot to talk about after the break on the smartness level segment. See you. Welcome to the smartness level segment today on the show with Naa Darkoaa Otoo. Hello, Naa.
Hi.
As is saying, me, you always be saying that to me. Oh.
I know that. You know what people actually see me and they go like Z. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's the Z baby.
It's fine.
Are you ready for us? This segment, I'm sure you've what's your home baby.
Oh, Michelle.
Oh, yes, she is viewer on. Audience. Yeah, that's it. So you are ready for this segment? On this segment, you answer 3 amazing questions. If you are able to get all correct, you get to walk away with something beautiful. But when intermediate, when baby for buying, no one stand for a while, fall back, and then you just go through that same door. So are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so your first question. Are you ready? Zainab, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. What has a mouth but cannot eat, moves but has no legs, and has a bank but cannot put money in it?
Hey.
Me to back confused. I'm in 2 pana. And I'm a good.
Okay.
Okay. So, what has a mouth but cannot eat? What can move but has no legs?
Hey. Has a mouth.
Yes, but cannot eat.
Cannot eat.
It can move, but has no legs.
It can move, but has no legs.
Yes.
The earth moves, though. But has no legs.
So your final answer? Na earth lady.
Oh, that's my answer.
Okay, so let me know most together. The question is together.
Hey.
So
Baby, that's my answer. So if I give to them,
baby, one card, you know, answer me na back.
Hey.
We're close. Should I help you? Naa Darkoaa Otoo. Should I tell you the answer?
Sure.
It's a river.
Oh, bra.
Oh, bra. Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Thank you.
Zainab is a butcher. She weighs 5'10". What does Zainab weigh?
Zainab is a butcher.
Yes. She weighs 5'10". What does she weigh?
Hey, Holy Ghost.
What's the Holy Ghost?
Now, what she weigh there?
What does she weigh? Zainab weighs something. Oh, weigh, baby.
Zainab is a butcher.
Yes.
She weighs 5'10".
Yes. What does she weigh?
Nanya 5'10" now.
You didn't say yesterday.
Hey.
What's it? Nanya 5'10" now.
She really. Hey.
Should I help you?
David, but I said we're going to mean about. Okay, so first one in Minyawa.
David, first one.
The X moves.
They said 2 questions in one.
Yeah, by me.
As we help you. It's meat. Mr. Zainab is a butcher. Why are you thinking?
What's she?
Say you're a butcher. What do you wear? Your meat. You're thinking so much.
Oh, then she weighs 5'10" now.
No, Mrs. She is 5'10".
Oh,
One person she weighs. Bravo, so can then I'm go school be. One side, so man bravo. Okay, your final last question. That's when you're 0/3.
Half.
Okay, what yeah. A man shaves several times a day, but still has beard. Who is he?
Hey, a man.
Yes.
Oh, I did. I'm saying I'm trying to cry. You.
And your crowd, Holy Spirit is watching you.
A man shaves.
Yes. Every day.
Hey.
But with beard.
A man shaves every day.
Yes.
Baba.
What's the final answer? What's the final answer? Oh, can Nikesino Monty? I said they want to hear BS.
I want to be sure first.
You want to be sure first? How was it?
Baba.
So what's your final answer?
Baba.
Baba.
Uh-huh.
Oh, say it with women. They go say the answer well. So your final answer is what? Baba. I think that is correct. I have let's say no. I said one candy yellow. We kind of got a baba. So your final answer?
Baba, sure.
Oh, it's actually
Baba.
Keshi. Holy Spirit, 1/3. Where are you?
Holy Spirit now.
Nah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We are really inspired. I know those that are watching have learnt a lot from you, and we wish you so well in all that you are doing. We are praying that you will not backslide for the devil to get you. And so continue praying, continue being disciplined, and you'll go far. And you didn't tell us about your number. You didn't tell us where we can find you.
So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Our shop will actually be ready this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're looking at doing a lot of things. So
is there a number they can call if somebody wants
we're
to?
on Instagram. It's ES_surprises. My number is 054-949-3326.
Okay.
Yes.
So if they want to reach ES Surprises, they can call.
And then our email is also naadarkoaa@gmail.com.
Okay. And then it's surprises. I mean.
Yeah, we surprise basically parties, birthdays, engagements, decor, weddings, everything events basically.
Thank you so much for coming. It's been amazing having you. But when you come on the show, when you're 2/3, but you know. No, 1/3.
1.5.
Which 1.5? 1/3. But you know, would have to say thank you to you. So we have something beautiful for you.
Oh, wow.
Something that actually looks like you. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
You are ready. Okay, so this is for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is you.
Oh wow!
So it says she is show appreciates you. Thank you for being an inspiration. Naa Darkoaa Otoo.
This is nice.
It looks like you, right?
This
is you. Okay, so thank you so much.
Yes,
thank you so much. This is how we wrap up on an amazing episode, an inspiring one at that. Thanks for watching the show, and obviously my show is brought to you by Smile GH Photography. Smile GH is a production house that are experts in the production of all your events. So if you want that production of yours captured with style, contact them on 02610893346 or 024008163. Also follow them on all social media platforms as Smile GH Photography. Also thanks to Templessy Court. Templessy is a home away from home. If you want a place to have fun, a place to, the coded place, rooms were very affordable. Call them now on 0244-730025 or 0244-292520. Also thanks to Ogede Brown Enterprise. They are producers and distributors of King Marble, beautiful and affordable tiles. So call them now for anything to beautify your homes with on 020-2065-920. 020-2065-920. Also thanks to Excellence Framing GH for the beautiful frames that we give our guests. You can call them for such an amazing piece on 050-61-53316, 050-61-53316. Also thanks to Smart Trends for their lovely outfits that they provide me with. Call them for something amazing on 027-1381-428, 027-1381-428. And finally, thanks to Queen Kesh Kitchen for the amazing delicacies that you provide us with all the time. Call them for your soups, stews, salad, anything. If you want to surprise someone and you need a packaged food, call them on 057-659-1430 or 02417-0510. My name is Richmond Opong Frimpong. Until then, see you next week.